You ever seen somebody here so goddamn nappy it look like it needs surgeries? You know, that nappy hair that just look like it needs some medical help, honey, because, you know, I see nappy hair like that and I feel sorry for them. I really do. Just thinking about all the tragedies they be going through as far as trying to get that hair together, honey. You be combing that hair. You be making that ugly I'm combing nappy hair face. Out the person getting their hair combed screaming. Now, nappy hair should be a medical problem. You know what I'm saying? You go to the doctor, you tell them you got nappy hair, honey, they give you a prescription. You know what I'm saying? Say, here, bitch, take this 2 times a day and your hair should be good. You know what I'm saying? Bitch, the closest thing to a fucking cure for nappy hair is a Valessa. And I thought, you know, use the Valessa. You know what I'm saying? The Valessa is your friend. You see their hair afros and shit, that shit ain't relaxed. It's tense, honey. They mad. The hair is mad, honey. When it lays down flat or whatever, it means it's happy, honey. It needs to, you know, it's relaxed. You know what I'm saying? That's why they call it relaxer, honey, because it's relaxed. You know what I'm saying? If your hair take 2 years and a century to comb, then, honey, you need to just cut it off or go to the doctor, honey, get a surgical procedure. Tell them they might have to put you to sleep because, Miss Honey, that's a medical emergency, Miss Girl. They might have to give you some anesthesias and maybe some amnesias too, so you could get over, so you could forget the traumatization that went on in your scalp, so you could wake up a brand new person. You know what I'm saying? So you can know. And people walk up to you and they be like, "Oh, where you get your hair cut at?" And you tell them the doctors, and you be like, "Oh, girl, how much you pay for that?" They be like, "No, my insurance paid for it, girl." "Oh, did you have to pay a copay?" "Yeah, girl, $3. You're like, "Oh, girl, you got a certified medical haircut. Bitch, you better work. You looking good, girl. You looking good. You look good. You look good." Girl, I was in Philly for the weekend, and honey, I had a marvelous time. I really did. I really did have a good time. We went down there to go visit family. Honey, I have a huge family, honey. I don't even know half of my family. We went down there on Friday, came back Monday, honey. I mean, we had a good time. You know what I'm saying? I told my sister, I was like, the first thing I do when I go down to the city, you know what I'm going to do. The first thing I'm going to do when I go down to the city, I'm going to the Chinese store. And I told her that. And she was like, because she had asked me, she was like, "What you going to do when you go down to Philly? What's the first thing you going to do?" I said, "Bitch, I already told you what I'm going to do." "Oh, okay, I told you. The first thing I'm going to do when I go to Philly, and I'm going to get me some Chinese food." Because what happened was, like, where I live in Pottstown, the Chinese food is all right, but it's not Philly Chinese food. You know what I'm saying? Philly Chinese food got that different taste. It's just marvelous. You know what I'm saying? It's just absolutely marvelous. So I told her, I said, "Look, I'm going to the Chinese store when I first go there." And everybody want McDonald's, everybody else want McDonald's and fucking Burger King or some other shit. I made up my mind. Okay, bitch, ain't nothing gonna change my motherfucking mind, bitch. And that's what the first thing I did when I went down for Philly. Because you know, in Philly, honey, there's a Chinese store on every motherfucking block, maybe 2. You know what I'm saying? And I told her, I said, "Child," and that's what I did. We got there, and then, honey, what the first thing I did? Where the Chinese store at? Okay. Where the Chinese store at, girl? And I finally had the Chinese food, and it wasn't really up to par to what I thought it was. I guess I was just, I don't know. Because it's been a long time since I've been in Philly. So I guess I just put it on an upper pedestal than what it really was, honey. But, honey, it was good. I mean, but it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. So I guess I was disappointed. But the chicken was good though. Cause you know, bitch, you get the universal meal when it comes to the Americanized Chinese food. You get the fried rice and chicken wings. You know what I'm saying? That's the universal meal. I had a good time. You know, I was hanging with family one night. We was having a good time. Met some new family that I've never seen before, honey. And just had a good time overall. And tomorrow will be my second week of not smoking anymore. If you've noticed, if you was watching my video, I have not lit a cigarette. I am not smoking anymore. I have gave that up. And I'm really proud of myself. 2 weeks now. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. The first 3 days was kind of hard because, you know, the withdrawal symptoms and the nicotine leaving your system. So, you know, needless to say, that's what I went through. The first 3 days was hard, but then after that, it eases up. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm almost in my second week. I have not had a craving. You know what I'm saying? You know, people as ex-smokers, do they ever think about cigarettes? And that smoker will tell you, yeah. But there's a difference between thinking of a cigarette and needing it and thinking of a cigarette. It's like when you smoke, when you first stop smoking, you think of a cigarette within the first 3 days as something that you need. Like, oh my God, I need the cigarette. Like, I really need it, but I can't have it, so I'm not going to smoke it. But once you become an ex-smoker and you stop after a period of while, when you think about a cigarette, it's like a thought of, okay, say if you say, well, today I'm going to clean my apartment. And then you be like, nah, probably tomorrow. That's the same way of thinking about a cigarette. Once you stop smoking, it's like, well, maybe it'd be a good time to have a cigarette right now. Man, it's just like one of those kind of thoughts. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference between the thought of having a cigarette within 3 days of stop smoking and the thought of having a cigarette out of those 3 days and being in that smoker and continuing the path of not smoking anymore. So that's what some people get confused as far as thinking of a cigarette. When people ask smokers, do you still think of a cigarette? And then that smoker say, yeah. And then the people that still smoking, they get scared and they don't want to quit smoking because they think they're going to always think of a cigarette as if it's something that they're going to need. And it's not. It's really not. You can live without cigarettes. You just have to get past that point because cigarettes are so addictive. It messes with your brain and tells you that you can't go through the day without mint. You know what I'm saying? The nicotine will tell you that. And that's not true. I mean, I'm finding it easier every day to not go a thought without a cigarette. Yesterday, I went through a whole day without thinking of a cigarette whatsoever. And I felt so good that that reconfirmed that I'm finally ready to not smoke anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can live without smoking. You know what I'm saying? And most people who smoke don't remember the time when they weren't smoking. Don't remember how the day was without a smoke. And that's what nicotine does to you. It makes you forget how you were prior to smoking. You know what I'm saying? So now you just look at your life. It's like, oh my God, how I'm going to get through this? You know, how I'm going to get through this day? I don't have a cigarette. And you smoke cigarettes with anything. You smoke cigarettes after you eat a meal. You smoke cigarettes after you complete a task. You smoke cigarettes after you wake up in the morning. You smoke cigarettes before you go to bed at night. It's like a routine. You know what I'm saying? You can't do anything without having a cigarette before, after, or in between. You know what I'm saying? And once you wean off cigarettes, your life will change. Your brain will change. You know what I'm saying? It'll tell you that, bitch, you can do shit without cigarettes, honey. You just got to get to that motherfucking point. Okay. Bitch, I've been doing good. And I've probably been staring at this thing right here when I should have been staring at the lens. But, Miss Honey, yes. It's like it's glaring all up in here. Oh, now the sun decides want to come out. Girl, boom. Okay, pull the shade right down. There we go. But, bitch, I've been doing good without cigarettes. I really have. You know what I'm saying? I stopped. I'm happy I stopped. The funny thing is, when I was in Philly, child, I think most of my family smoked. You know what I'm saying? We were down there chilling, having a good time, but everybody was smoking in my face. The room was filled with smoke. I mean, we was chatting and reminiscing about everything, honey, about past times, whatever, and everybody was smoking a cigarette. I swore everyone was smoking a cigarette all up in my face, but I didn't have a cigarette. And I was proud of myself that I didn't have a cigarette. And, I drank when I was down there. And, alcohol, when you drink alcohol and you're a smoker, if you feel like you need to smoke more cigarettes, because what it is alcohol drains nicotine deposits in your body. So you need to smoke more cigarettes to get that nicotine fix. So that's why when you drink alcohol, you tend to need more cigarettes. So, yes. I wanted a cigarette because I was drinking. Because, the cigarettes was associated, like when I drink, the routine of smoking a cigarette is still there. Like the connection is still there. You know what I'm saying? To smoke a cigarette. Like if you do something, like after you eat a meal, like you might have a thought of smoking a cigarette because that's what you normally did back in the day. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're going to have a thought and say, oh my God, I need to get a cigarette because I'm going to need it. No, that's not it. It's just that you're thinking about it because that's what you used to do. But once you think about why you quit and all that other stuff, you can just squash that thought. You know what I'm saying? No, bitch, I'm not going to have a cigarette. I'm not going to that. And the main reason why I quit is because I can't afford cigarettes. Cigarettes cost too motherfucking money. And and I get Newports. You know what I'm saying? Newports is like $6 It's like $6, not including tax. A pack? Girl, that's $180 a month. I smoke a pack a day, $180 a month. No, thank you. I can't afford it. You know what I'm saying? Even if I can't cover the charge, in the long run, I can't afford it because I could be using that money for something else. You know what I'm saying? I could be using that for something else. And, if I start smoking again, I'm just going to go back to my normal routine, which would defeat the purpose of me trying to save money. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't afford it. If I take even one cigarette, I could go back and be paying full blown again. I can't do that. I can't afford to do that. So that's one of the main reasons why I quit. The other main reasons because of my health. You know, I'm not trying to end up with some smoke related illness that I can prevent. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth it. It's not. It's not worth your life. It's really ain't. And I'm trying to stay clean. And I've been doing it, honey. And for those of you who are looking to stop smoking, please do. You know what I'm saying? If I can do, I'm telling you right now, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Because I am a heavy smoker. I was a heavy smoker. I was a pack a day. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people smoke 2 packs, 3 packs, 4 packs a day. That's horrible. You know what I'm saying? But I'm considered a heavy smoker. If I can do it, because I tried like at least 5-6 times to stop. And I failed every time. Not this time, because I really grasped the concept of nicotine addiction. You know what I'm saying? You can't be stronger than the addiction. You got to be smarter than the addiction. You know what I'm saying? You can't be stronger than it. It's an addiction. You can't be stronger than it because you're going to lose. You know what I'm saying? You're going to lose the battle. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here preaching, girl. But y'all know what I mean, child. Girl, I quit smoking. I'm a happy girl, and anybody want to quit smoking, honey, if I can do it, you can do it. It's guaranteed. Because, you know what I'm saying, I'm proof of that. I used to smoke all the time. I was on camera, y'all know. Sitting on camera doing videos smoking. If I can't make a video without smoking, girl, I was bad. You know what I'm saying? I was bad. Like, if I can stop smoking, anybody can stop smoking. I guarantee that. I really do. Girl, but honey, I had a good time. I should have to tell y'all about that, honey. I had a good time, and thank y'all for watching once again. I love you guys. Wow. Pow, honey. Yes. I haven't said pow in a long time. Pow. Yes.